Well, howdy folks, welcome back to Puzzle Builder of the Disney Kind. I think it's time we start up another puzzle, and of course, before we continue any further, I think I'm just going to do this because I build these so quickly when I do. This one is the bepuzzled 3D crystal puzzle of Princess Jasmine here. So, yeah, this one, the challenge here was her arms, was getting her arms to stay in place, because, and plus her arms are in such a weird pose because she's kind of posed like this a little bit, and yeah, so yeah, there you go. We got Princess Jasmine right here, so, and I'll show a close-up shot. But moving on from Aladdin, we're going to do a Ravensburger puzzle this time. And I've heard this one's quite difficult. And of course, the last Ravensburger I built was the Beauty and the Beast one, and that one was difficult. Even the Seco Pinocchio was difficult. But this time we're going to take a look and not take a look, but we're going to build Cinderella. Yeah, I got some Cinderella puzzles that we can put together instead of Little Mermaid or Beauty and the Beast. So yeah, we're going to do this Cinderella one, and there's some things that we are going to need for this mission to accomplish it. First of all, we will need the puzzle itself. And then the next thing, because this should be an exact fit according to the dimensions on the side of the box. Ravensburgers are universal, so like Ravensburger's puzzles are universal. You know, they're sold here in the United States, they're sold in the United Kingdom and Germany, and as a matter of fact, if you look on the back here, there's different languages and descriptions, but they do post the dimensions on the side here. They post in centimeters and in inches. So so yeah, we do need the puzzle, and going to trusted Hobby Lobby with those dimensions in mind, I found an exact fitting frame, and well, maybe approximately a 22 by 28 inch frame. So it should fit this entire frame. Instead of me getting the great big frame and having to paint around it, this one should be a snug fit. So what I'm going to do is we're going to build directly onto this, instead of building it on the table and then sliding it on, which is kind of silly, and you run the risk of having it fall apart. But instead we got the somewhat of an exact fit frame, so we're going to build actually on this. This is from Hobby Lobby, this frame. It's $20, $19.99. And I just saw a video not too long ago about Hobby Lobby and barcodes. I'm going to break that myth for you, because right here is a barcode, and right down here at the bottom is a barcode. So yes, they do use barcodes, folks. They are not completely panicking mark of the, saying barcodes are part of the mark of the beast or anything like that. So it's just, I think what the person was just looking at was wall decor, which is like, their little signs and things like that. So yeah, we are taking this out of the wrapper, and what we are going to do is pull off the edging. Pull that all off, set it to the side. So set that off to the side. Maybe set it on the floor underneath my DVD shelf. So maybe I won't step on it. And we'll take the plastic. Again, set that to the side. Just kind of prop it up. Somewhere. Yeah. And this is just trash. It's paper. And I want to make sure that my hooks are in a proper position to where I'm going to hang it. So this will just sit right here on this table, and we will actually build the puzzle onto this, and then we'll get started. Okay, so this is going to take some time to actually do, because I emptied all the pieces into the box and just kind of scattering through. And of course, you know me, when I do these, I usually start with faces first and go from there. So this is where we are at. Eventually it will look like that, but yeah, so far we've got pieces of the fairy godmother, Cinderella herself, the top part, and some of the coach driver, but that's where we are at. Okay, so here we are. This is about what I've got done over this weekend. I was trying to find some pieces to go to her dress, but you know, there's a ton of white going on here. We started on the side of the coach. You can see there, but yeah, just trying to sort out some stuff and get it out. This is a little bit of the horse, and yeah, there's a lot of white in this puzzle. And of course there's a lot of greens and so on and so forth, so it's gonna be, I think this one's gonna be a little bit of a tough one, so because there's a lot of the same color in it. So but obviously she's appeared, but need to start on her torso there, and we've got part of the fairy godmother. So there we go. Yeah, this one's going to be a bit of a tough one, because look at all that white, and I'm still picking through the box to find it, and just some more of the fairy godmother has come out. So yeah, there we go, just inching our way through. Okay, so I haven't been able to get much further. I did find this little piece here. I've mostly been trying to pick out her dress, which that's definitely going to be a challenge alone. And just found a few little pieces here and there. It's going to take some time for this one to come together. It literally is, because it's a challenge with a puzzle like this is that you have so many pieces that are the same color and you don't know what exactly they go to. But yeah, and we still got quite a ways to go. This is 1,000 pieces, so taking my time with it, but eventually I found at the end of a sleeve here to the fairy godmother, but as you can see, hers is going to be a little bit to put together, and of course Cinderella's dress and gown. That's difficult. on itself, and I haven't even gotten into the background. And the film strip to this picture is bigger than the Beauty and the Beast one I did. So, yeah. Okay, so we got some action going on here. Just found her hands, put them together, and we've combined with the fairy godmother. But we still got that massive dress to put together. All that white. Look at all that. And I'm still picking pieces of white out of the box. Now, the horse, there's a horse, and the carriage, they have some white in them as well, so that may be part of it. But that dress, man, as well as hers too. Her cloak is kind of baggy, so starting to come along the edge of one side of her cloak. But yep, there we go. Well, we got a little bit more progress tonight. We started on the gown. So, yeah. And part of her arm. That's about... Well, of course, I did a lot of sorting so that eventually the dress is in there somewhere. But, yeah, I'm focusing on that for the moment. This one's definitely going to take some time. Well, definitely made some progress on the dress here with the gown, definitely. Trying to find this piece here that connects to the carriage, but yeah, we're definitely working on the gown. That's coming along quite nicely, actually. Just trying to find where I'm trying to find how to put that together is through the seams here, is the seams and the folds and things like that they've drawn on. So just to get those to match up, really that's where everything lies. I haven't even touched the horse or just that part of the carriage. That's it. But she's coming. Well, howdy folks. I'm just got out of the shower. I'm getting ready to turn in for this evening, but spent some time this weekend working on the puzzle, working on Cinderella here. And so here's where she's at. Yeah, so we've come along quite nicely here. So, and just I knew that dress was going to be a challenge, and so we've got right down to the seam here, except for some missing pieces here and there. And now we're going to finish continuing getting her and fairy godmother attached, and as well as the coach, which I'm starting to work on now with the horse and so forth. But yeah, I just would sit down for a little bit and stop, come back to it. Definitely taking my time with it. Yeah, there's some things going on right now personally, so I've managed to find some time to work on it a little bit. So stay tuned and you'll see the progression of this thing. Okay, so here we are in the next night. Didn't spend a whole lot, but got a couple characters to appear. We got the horse, parts of the horse, and the driver, and filled in a little bit down in here, and starting to go along here, and starting to get this other guy started. So we are inching our way forward with the good old Cinderella here. So keep watching, and we're going to complete this thing. Okay, so jump ahead a few nights. Um, I just went crazy for the past few nights and just forgot to really document it and get it on camera here. But here's where we're at right now. We have completed all the characters. Now is nothing but the outside and like in the background, like all the fairy dust, the film strip, and the bottom. But yeah, trying to sort some stuff out, but there's where we're at. I mean, maybe there's little pieces of the characters, but they're darn near complete. I mean, the rest is. This is a challenge with with a lot of these puzzles. Is, you know, they'll come up with the painting, and a lot of the things are the same color or similar in color, so you got to figure out where they go. And yeah, that's pretty much where we are at. Well, this is what happens when you have an extremely long weekend, and well, when you have some time on your hands, this is what you do. You get pretty close to the end. And it's a little bit smaller than what I thought it was going to be, so I'll probably be touching it up with some paint, who knows. But there's the pieces left there, there's the pieces left there, so getting pretty close to the end here. Just kept going at it and just didn't stop. Got pretty much most, yeah, actually all of the film strip completed. Now it's just getting all that blank space that's in between it and the edge. So yeah, there we go. Last piece. So here we go. And there she is. Okay, so here she is. Of course, I thought this was going to be an exact fit. Well, I guess it won't be. I want to try to center it up as much as possible. And from there, definitely going to be applying some paint and our trusty puzzle guard glue. And I may have to break open the newer bottle. So yeah, I might as well just stop it right here, and as soon as I apply this, because you've seen me do this once before, so yeah, here we go. Actually, hold on a second. I think I'm just going to use the spray paint, but in order to do that, I've actually got to get the puzzle off the board. Because at the beginning of this, I thought that the puzzle was going to exactly fit this backing. Well, turns out that's not exactly going to be the case. So I'm going to gently scoot this off, and we're going to take this outside and we're going to spray paint it. So Now the trick will be putting this back on it. I'm gonna go with the lac, the blue spray paint. Okay, so we spray painted this blue, and I made sure that I got it right where my hooks are going to go, so I'm going to have to slide the puzzle back onto the board. No, this is a challenge. Whoa, no. Almost epic fail. Almost epic fail. If we can get the tail end on. Oh man. Well, let's see here. Okay, make sure. Almost lost this thing. About slid right on off. And it would have... that would have been a catastrophe. So I'm trying to center it up a little bit. I actually thought when I bought this frame that it would actually be a perfect fit and I wouldn't have to spray paint anything, but there's some spots where it's a little bare, but it's right where the bars are gonna cover them up. So now we're going to apply the guard finally. And the key thing to remember with this is that it gets sticky and yeah, it does get sticky and it does need to sit overnight to dry. So we'll start with this. And of course using a scraper from another bottle, but you take it, you gotta smear it all around, gives it a nice glossy shine to the overall picture, and of course glues all the pieces together. A little bit of a dry thing that peeled off. Like dry glue, probably from the cap. Okay, I think that'll do. I think that'll do just nicely. Got a little bit on my finger, but that'll peel right off. See, this is what happens when, like, the dry stuff, it just comes into that gloppy stuff. So this has got to sit overnight and let this dry. That's the best thing to do with it is, yeah, let it sit overnight and let it dry, and then we'll go from there. So don't go anywhere. Well, everything's dry. So now here's what we do. Remember this piece, and what we want to do is, there's a protective film on it, so we just take that, kind of rub it a little bit, just peel that off, make sure there's not one on the other side. I don't think there is, so we just line it up with the edge of the frame. And of course, this thing uses static electricity kind of to cling on to everything. And also, if we remember these things, these are the edges. So these can be a little tricky, but usually if you have it clear to the edge, these are pain. If you have the puzzle clear to the edge, they're a pain in the butt. But since we have a little bit of edging, we will see if we can't get it on. Maybe easier, who knows. And that part was easy. Of course, that was just the bottom. Now, let's try getting a side on. See what I mean? This is kind of what's tricky about it, because once you get the puzzle on, it's a little bit thicker, because this is originally meant for paper. So you could tap it, but sometimes it doesn't want to. It can be a little stubborn. So I think what I'm going to do is just do the other side. So that way the top will just be a slip on and go. Now here's the top. So, we do have the frame on. Now, what else do we do with this? Well, hold on to your hats. Now, we go hang this thing up. Where at? Well, it'll go right in my bedroom. So, that's where she's gonna go. Gonna have to find a specific spot for her. So, we'll be right back. Alright, so here she is. She's just... I'm just going to show right kind of catty corner to my bed. So that's where she's going to hang for the moment. Well, unless I decide to move things around, but yeah, that's where she's going to hang. So that completes the Ravensburger Cinderella puzzle. It took me a little while because a challenge that about all of these puzzles have is that you run into is when you run into something like when there's a similar color and you don't know what's going where. And I thought I did a pretty good job of starting. You know, because I always start with logos. If there's a logo on it, I'll start with that, and if there's and usually faces. Try to start with faces. but yeah, and then I realized I'm just looking at the box. So I'll pull the box out. I noticed that there's a lot of green for the forest, and the dress kind of had me worried, and I thought, okay, I'll start with the faces here and maybe put those kind of together, but then I'm going to work on this dress because, and thankfully that they painted in seams to kind of help you guide, because you know how, if you kind of know how a dress goes, it kind of has it's not exactly straight, but it's kind of smooth, and so they were able to incorporate that into the artwork here. So so yeah, this completes that. It's now hanging on my wall. And so next time we'll start a different puzzle, different characters, and yeah, and we'll have much more. We'll have some fun with that one. So, from me to you, see you later.